So in this video, we're going to talk about advertising on Twitter. Twitter ads set up objective-based campaigns that are designed to help you achieve results that drive action and add value to your business. You can create campaigns that are tailored for a variety of business goals, anything from driving website traffic to increasing brand awareness to adding followers to your Twitter account and getting people to engage with your tweets and many more things. So when you go to Twitter and you start looking into doing advertising, this is something you might typically see. So you look at, what is my real goal here for this advertising campaign? And you can pick one of these options before you get started, and then Twitter will guide you through that process. So to set up a campaign, you would create a login to a Twitter ads account. And once you do that, you click on Create a New Campaign, and you decide from that previous slide which of the campaign types you want to do. Then you give your campaign a name. You can see that step at the bottom of your screen here. And then you set the start and end dates of your campaign. Now, the best practice is to actually click that first button that says Start Immediately and Run Continuously. Now, before you think, wow, I don't know if I can afford that, we'll be talking about how you can set and limit your budget coming up here soon. So let's take a look at the unique features of each campaign type. First of all, the awareness campaigns, that help you maximize your brand awareness. It'll help you reach out to more of your customers and drive better awareness of your brand. So let's look at how the pricing is done on that. So for an awareness campaign, Twitter uses auction-based pricing. So you basically make a bid on how much you are willing to pay for 1,000 impressions. So the cost per 1,000, CPM. There's no set price, so you can't really guarantee how much it's going to cost you to reach those 1,000 people. But you specify how much you're willing to pay for those 1,000 impressions, and that amount is called your bid. Now, once you've set that, the campaign on Twitter will actually optimize for unique reach. So now this shows it in pounds here below, but you can see that you have the option to choose your pricing of target cost at 5.70 pounds per 1,000 impressions. Now, now that you've set what you're willing to pay for a 1,000 impressions, you can actually set your maximum budget and your total budget. So if and there's no real minimum, you can spend as little as you want, but you can set your daily maximum to say, maybe I only have $50 to spend per day. So you put that in on this first graphic here in this field, and then Twitter will automatically stop showing your ads once that amount has been reached. And then for the total budget, you can actually, that's optional. The daily maximum is required, but the total budget is optional. So you can say, I want to run this campaign for a specified period of time, and here's how much money I want to spend. So basically, once you've reached that $250 cap that they have in here, then Twitter will stop serving your ads, and that amount won't be exceeded. So you can also establish your reach and engagement goals. So within the Set Your Budget section, you can also choose between optimizing purely for maximum reach or for reach with engagement. So this is the maximum reach will reach the most amount of people in your target audience, but the reach with the engagement will reach more of your target audience while preserving those engagements. So the default campaign is optimization for maximum reach. You can also determine how you want your ads to be delivered. So standard delivery basically spends your daily budget maximum evenly throughout the day. That's the default option. But if you want to get your message out there as quickly as possible, then and spend your daily budget as fast as possible, for example, for a time-sensitive tweet during a live event or a conference or so, you can you can actually set the accelerated delivery option as well. So your budget will be spent in a quicker amount of time. So another type of campaign that you can do on Twitter is to grow your Twitter following with a followers campaign. So this is a quote from Twitter. Followers campaigns are the best way to promote your account or grow your audience on Twitter. Building a large base of followers is key to fully leveraging your Twitter presence to drive business results. Followers see your content, retweet, engage, and share it with others. This amplifies your message and can help attract even more followers eager to hear more about what your business has to offer. Followers are incredibly valuable to your business, so when someone follows you on Twitter, they not only see your tweets, but they also become an advocate and a customer. So when you decide to do a follower campaign, ask yourself these questions when you get started. Who do I want to follow my business? Who is my target audience? Think about the typical customers that you have who might want to purchase your product or service, and set up your targeting to focus on those particular groups. And then ask yourself how much you're willing to pay for each follower. What is the value of a new follower on Twitter in terms of, will they ultimately become a customer and spend a certain amount of money? How much are you willing to pay for them? The cost per follower is set by a second price auction among other advertisers. So you'll only ever pay just slightly more than the next highest bidder. And the average bids are around $2.50 to $3.50 per follower. And then ask yourself, how many followers do you want to gain? Set a goal to help you decide on how much you're willing to spend. When you when you decide you want to use a follower campaign, think about whether it's a good time and whether you're really doing it the way, for the most strategic way. So when you want to use a follower campaign when you're more likely to be discoverable to people who are existing or prospective customers on Twitter. You also want to use it when you want to drive purchases or leads, or you want people to download your app or sign up for something for a mailing list perhaps, or a contest. So you might want to use it for those who've already demonstrated an interest in your product and have chosen to follow you, who might want to choose to follow you. You might also use a follower campaign to increase your reach, your brand awareness, and word of mouth sharing by tweeting some valuable content that your followers will share. And you might want to use it also to drive web traffic by engaging those who followed you every day for free with your organic tweets. So a reason to do a follower campaign to gain more followers on Twitter is shown in these statistics. 85% of people believe promoted accounts help them discover new businesses on Twitter. So businesses that actually did a promoted accounts campaign in order to get more followers, have that opportunity to reach that 85% who've discovered new business options. 75% of Twitter users feel better about a small business after following and reading its tweets. 69% have actually purchased something from a small business because of Twitter. So by gaining followers, you're increasing your opportunity to send messages to your audience organically and for free that might in turn become sales, or people that might become customers in the long run. So followers feel a lot more positive about businesses that they follow. They tweet about them, they retweet their tweets, and they end up buying from them. So it's a good thing to build that follower base. So when you're setting up a follower campaign, one way you can be the most successful at it is to make sure that you include a compelling reason for people to follow you. As you can see in this Barista Bar ad, follow us for coffee news and Barista Bar Club discounts. So there's an incentive to follow because you think you might end up getting an exclusive discount, or find out about new products before someone else does, or you might have access to other information. So for best results, you might want to try 2 or 3 different tweets and test them to see which one people respond to the most. And then, as you can also see down here, it says promoted, so you can tell this tweet is an ad because it's got that information at the bottom that it is promoted. And then if you want to do tweet engagement campaigns, this is a quote from Twitter as well. People on Twitter love to discover and share interesting content, take part in enthusiastic conversations, and connect with others outside their immediate circles. So this is why you might want to do a tweet engagement campaign. This is when you would write a tweet and then basically pay to promote it so that more people will see it than just your followers. So that you can promote tweets to a large targeted group of people, and it enables you to place your best content in front of your audience or in front of an audience of potential customers that you wanted to target, and to put it there at a time that you think it will be the most effective. So your tweet engagement campaign will be much more effective if the content that you produce, the tweets that you produce, are really compelling. So images, video, things like that really attract people a lot more and create a lot deeper engagement. So 3 tips for a tweet engagement campaign. Number 1, start conversations with customers. Try to create that two-way dialogue. Encourage discussion around your new products or services, and develop your content strategy by using an editorial calendar to plan your content and the spacing of it, when you're going to use it, how one tweet might build up on the other, and that kind of thing. So tweet engagement campaigns are clearly labeled as promoted, as you can see here in the red circle, but otherwise they look like regular everyday tweets. They appear in the timelines and on the profile pages of users, and also on the tweet detail pages. People can retweet them, they can like them, just like a regular tweet. Now, if I mentioned earlier that you could target your tweet engagement campaigns to an audience that it is an audience that you want to reach. So there are numerous targeting options. First of all, you can target them by language, only English speakers, only Spanish speakers, or something like that. You can target by gender. You can target based on their interest or their behavior. You can target based on what device they use. Are they on an iOS device? If they're Apple users, are they on a Droid? Are they using their mobile phone or their iPad? Or are they using a desktop computer or laptop computer? So you can target by the specific device. You can also target followers, that are basically people who've shown an interest in content similar to yours or in a business similar to yours. You can use your own CRM list to reach specific groups of users on Twitter using tailored audiences targeting. You can target geographically. So if you're just a local business, you can target people only in your area that would be likely to visit your store. And you can do keyword targeting. So this is where you set up specific keywords that people might be searching for and use those as a way to attract people. So let's take a deeper look into some of those options. So keyword targeting allows you to reach the right users at the moment they've shown an interest in the subject that's related to your business. So as you're setting up your campaign, you would select this keyword option as your method for targeting. Interests and followers would target users with specific or predefined interests or interests similar to the ones that your current followers have. Tailored audiences is used to target your campaign to Twitter users based on people who have already visited your website or maybe received emails from you. They're on your email list or in your CRM database. So people like that. And then television. This is really interesting. So if you want to target people who are currently watching the Super Bowl or who are currently watching the American Music Awards or the Oscars or the Grammys, or How to Get Away with Murder or The Blacklist, you can actually specifically target people before, during, and after specific TV shows. Geographic locations is pretty self-explanatory, reaching people in the area where you do business. The select devices and platforms, again, whether it's the type of device they use or a mobile device versus a desktop or laptop computer. And then, of course, gender is self-explanatory as well. Another type of campaign you can do is a campaign to increase your web traffic or website visits campaign. And it'll include conversion tracking to measure the actions that happen off Twitter, such as signing up or purchasing for a product on your site. So you would use something like a website card that looks something like this, on this image here on the screen, to grow your site traffic, to increase your online purchases, and to drive specific actions that you want a user to take on your site. So those are the different types of campaigns you can set up, and there's a few more, a little more obscure options that you have the opportunity to do as well. But that gives you some idea of how you would set up a campaign and what those campaigns might look like. In our next video, we'll talk about how you pay for the advertising pricing strategy, as well as the analytics for understanding the success of your campaign.